So according to howtosolvearubik'scube.com, it is said that only 6% of the entire world's population can solve a Rubik's Cube. It is beneficial for parents whose kids are spending too much time on the screens of technology to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube because it is an activity that can take their time away from all that technology. Denise Davey, author of Children's Health, says that too many kids are spending too much time on technology, and in an article that I read in a newspaper, it states that too much technology causes lack of concentration skills and sleep deprivation in children, which is why I'm suggesting a Rubik's Cube is an activity for this. Now I'm going to teach you how to solve the Rubik's Cube in 3 steps using the Friedrich method, which is how to solve for the cross, how to solve for the first 2 layers, and then how to orient and permute the last layer solving the cube. Thank you. Round of applause. So the first step is to make a cross, and I'm gonna go ahead and solve this part real quick to save time for the more lengthy parts. So what I'm doing right here is making a cross on the bottom layer of the white side, and as you can see right here, what I did was each edge piece now matches up to its correct spot on the cube. And this locks in each spot for the remainder of the cube, so this cannot get messed up anymore, or else we'll have to start all over again. So the next step is what's called F2O. F2O it stands for solving for the first 2 layers simultaneously. So in the beginner's method, you'll see people solve each individual corner, and then they'll solve for the edge piece. But as a speed cuber, it is more efficient to solve both layers simultaneously. And by doing this, we want to create a 2x1 block with the white corner piece and an edge piece that corresponds with it. And during the process of solving the edge, we actually have an F2O pair already for us. So to insert it into its correct spot, what we're going to want to do is lift the left side up, align it to where the edge piece now, and slide it down. And as you can see, that F2O pair slides right in where it's supposed to be. So now we need to identify where another pair on the cube is. And right here we have a white corner piece and a red and green piece that corresponds to it. So we need to take it away from it. So when I'm talking and I'm doing these moves, this is the right face, the left face, and everything. So when I say R, it means that I'm sliding the piece up clockwise, and then U clockwise, and then R down. If I say prime, it means that I'm doing that move counterclockwise. So we're working on this red and green piece, and since we have opposites, so instead of it being red and red, we have a red and green with the green piece on top. All we need to do is align that corner piece where we want to solve it and insert it and do an L prime, U prime, L move, and the piece gets inside to where it needs to be. So now we need to identify another pair. So right here we have red, white, and blue, and the edge piece that corresponds red and blue is right across from it. Now we need to use a spot that's blank in the back to create the 2, or else we suffer the consequence of disrupting a pair that we've already created. So to connect the 2 pieces together, what we're going to need to do is an R prime, U2, and R to create the F2 pair block that we need to insert. Now we're going to insert it the same way that we've done the other 2, with an L prime, U, and L2, and we notice that now we have 3 of the 4. Now this case is one of the easiest ones with the white piece directly on top. So what that means is all we need to do is align that edge piece to its center piece of blue, and we notice that the top piece is orange. So instead of aligning the orange with the orange, we want to move it away from it, and then slide that white corner piece directly above it, and then lift it back up. And to insert it, we just insert it the same way that we've done the other ones. So after solving the first 2 layers, we can now move on to orienting the top layer, which is getting the entire top side yellow. And to start this, we're going to want to observe what kind of layer we have on top with the yellow. So we notice that we have a yellow bar spanning across the top face. And to finish the top layer, we're going to want to use an algorithm. An algorithm is a set amount of moves that will mess up the cube and put it back together without messing up anything that you've done thus far. So to create a cross on the top, we want to use the algorithm F, R, U, R prime, U prime, and then F. And then we'll see that we now have a cross, but now we need to solve for the entire face. And to do so, we're going to want to do something very similar to that. and getting the entire top layer solved. So now what we'll see is that we have each corner piece is now permuted where it needs to be, and then edge piece is actually permuted to where we need to be as well. So we see that we have green, orange, and red pieces that are in the right spot, but they're not corresponding to their colors. So we need to use an algorithm that will get this orange piece in a counterclockwise motion. So to do so, we're going to use the algorithm RU prime, RU, RU, RU prime, R prime, U prime, and then R2, and it's solved. And just another quick example of something, of another way that I mean is you can mess up the cube using an algorithm that you already know. Oh, actually, I just messed it back up. So right here we have what's called the J permutation, which these two pieces right here need to be right here, and these two pieces need to switch, and it kind of forms a J, which is where it gets its name. So as a speed cuber, as you're solving this, you can do these moves really quick without looking because you already know where the pieces go, and it's all an algorithm that'll get it to where it needs to be. And I think it is very beneficial for a parent to suggest an activity such as a Rubik's Cube to take time away from their kids spending all this time on technology. And in this speech, I taught you how to solve the cube using the Friedrich method, or CFOP, solving for the cross, first two layers, and orienting and permuting the last layer. Thank you.